Here we go. Avak, the Trigger. He's a fantastic engineer who's 100% arms, 0% charms. The Piraka, they were some of the most memorable sets to come out of Bionicle. But do they still hold up today? And how about the pieces that come in these sets? Are they any good? Can they be used to build other custom LEGO creations? Well, let's find out. Let's review Avak. I've always been a big fan of the weapons of the Piraka. To me, Avak always had this big old blaster, a really cool looking blaster, but when you flip it the other way around, it's some kind of welding tool. And see, this here is the beauty of the Piraka weapons. Every single one of them can bend and move like this. And look at that clean transition between forms. The way that there's a nice little gap in the arm piece here so that it can fold all the way up. I don't know, it's just very enjoyable to switch these around, back and forth like that. I love it. It's an incredibly simple play feature, but it makes me happy. Avak and all of the Piraka's rubber masks, they are fascinating pieces. The big old grin on their faces, which is equally menacing and also incredibly goofy at the same time, it's great. And the way that the spines run along their arms and down their back, it was an extremely different and exciting way to reinvent the Bionicle mask. And I gotta say, I really appreciate LEGO doing that. Challenging what a Bionicle mask could be, finding ways of extending it onto the body, playing around with some rubberized elements. This is the sort of stuff that sets the Piraka apart from everything else, and I think it still makes them very, very memorable today. And very fun as well. Avak just oozes with personality and character. You'll have a great time posing him as well. It's also great to see him rocking that slick dark tan and brown color scheme. I love it. He of course does have those glowing eyes if you press down on the top of the mask, but my eyepiece no longer works, unfortunately. I don't know, man, I would say this set still holds up today, all these years later. But what about the pieces? Are they any good? Let's find out. We'll start off with the Zamisphere that's included in this set. And I like how Marco has used them here, using two of them for eyes on this little crustacean. That's really something special. Now you may be wondering, how the heck do you connect these to other pieces? They don't really have any connection points. Well, actually they do. To connect them, you're gonna need this piece right here. You see this piece appearing in different wheelbarrows and scooters, stuff like that. So the little pin connection on this piece, it actually links up with the hole that's at the very top of a Zamisphere. You can just link them up like so. Pretty easy. And with that in mind, you can put this piece onto any type of pin connection. Good stuff. With this in mind, there's all sorts of ways you can use it now. Every single one of the Piraka comes with a white skull underneath their mask, which by itself is a sensational piece. The teeth even glow in the dark. It's not the best piece to glow in the dark, you don't always notice it, but it does. Check out how Bionicles has used this piece here on their own take on a Piraka. Getting that invasion from below, Hero Factory brain slug, and putting it up top. What a clever way of making a face. I've never seen these two pieces paired together like this, but I tell you what, man, that looks great. This set also includes a ton of dark tan pieces, which makes for a really nice secondary color on this set. And actually, Ozcobot shows us that it can be a good secondary color on other creations as well. How good does it look when you pair it with dark blue? It is a bit of a muted color scheme, but I think that works. Especially when you put a little hint of gold in there as well. Delightful. And then this creation shows us dark tan and dark red put together. I highly recommend getting any dark color and pairing it with dark tan. It's a fantastic combination, and it consistently looks amazing. We also get some of these nice armor pieces in brown. It's a nice part, that's for sure. And check out how Anuku uses them right here. They work wonders as some neat little lower leg armor. Oh, and look at this. Black, purple, and brown. That's another amazing color scheme. Now let's talk about Avak's mask. Got those spikes coming out of it and everything, it's cool. But it is a very large and unwieldy piece. But it doesn't mean that you can't use it in some great ways. Dekakoridera places it on the face of this creation, but he appears to have cut out the bottom of the mask. It leaves the jaw exposed like this, and it leaves room for you to do whatever you want with the lower jaw. The way he's added in some teeth and some spikes and a big old open mouth, it's terrifying. It kind of gives me the impression that this character has been experimented on. And now they've got all this silver robotic armor. And the only remnant of their original body is this Avak rubber mask piece. But you know, from all the experimentation and battles that he's been in, the face appears damaged and deformed. It's like something out of a horror movie. I think it's a great aesthetic. Another great use for this part is by Rahiden. They've brought to life the amazing Pokemon Buffalant. Now first things first, this is a wonderful recreation of this Pokemon. They've captured the shape and the form of them perfectly. But check out the back. You can see this rubber piece right here. And in this context, the spiky parts look a little bit like fur. Isn't that clever? Never would have thought of using this piece to replicate fur, but it works. Perhaps you could use this piece to add a little bit of texture and to help shape a body design. There you have it. That's some inspiration for how you can use these parts. Now, why don't we check out a revamp of Avak? Well, not exactly. This is a character that's called Teros, and it was built by Saintly Jar. But yeah, okay, despite the fact that this is not Avak, it certainly resembles him. Because remember, yeah, in the Bionicle story, the Piraka are terrifying creatures. They're very strong characters as well. They're capable of defeating the Toanuva themselves. They've enslaved an entire island and they rule with an iron fist. They're tough. So imagining Avak like this, and he's this big menacing, sturdy looking dude, I feel like that's appropriate. I like it. This can certainly give us some inspiration for our own revamps of Avak. Now check out the changes to his face. Adding in those invasion from below spikes on either side, it gives it an amazing looking silhouette and shape, but it also adds a little bit more thickness to the face. This new larger head shape, I think it pairs better with this new larger body. It's a good fit. And the axe is also a great fit. The rounded and more circular shape of this, it pairs well with the rounded and more circular shape of his mask. It's nice to see some of that shape language being consistent like that. Yeah, it's also delightful to see Korok Karl's silver weapon elements. The ones that of course come on this great set. We see them here on the torso, but there's also a couple poking out on the shoulders. I don't know, I just really like this piece and people don't use it all that much, so it's good to see it here. Heck yeah, man. That's Avak. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more from the builders that I highlighted today, then you better take a look at the links in the description below. You can see the other stuff they've built right there. Thank you for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.